Hello, welcome to the Art of the Oracle. My name is Virginia. If you're new to the channel, I would love to hear from you. So leave me a comment and click that subscribe button. If you're interested in getting a personal or private reading, I work through Zoom, so follow the link below. There's a link to my email, and just shoot me an email and we'll discuss some dates that might work. So today, as all week, I've been using the Deviant Moon Tarot in honor of this new moon. I've also used both of these at one time or another during the week and decided to pair them up this week to see what the final message was as we move into the weekend. It feels like this week went rather fast. There's a lot of energy that I've heard is coming in through the sun, like solar energy, different things from these comets, and the energy that when it goes through our atmosphere, it creates more movement and energy, which in turn creates more movement and energy coming towards us at the sun. Not always, depending, I'm assuming, on where it is, but yeah, so very interested to see how the week goes. And I feel pretty good right now. I finally got some sleep last night, which I'm very excited. Had a wonderful Zoom event. If you're ever interested in joining any of the Zoom events, you can go to my website. I'm doing a monthly event right now. Each month I'm doing something to help us tap into the wisdom of our body. I'm going to take this one, and I'm feeling like this one. Both of these are kind of calling to me for Kali. I was feeling very much like there was kind of like a deep karmic value to what's going on right now. And I don't know exactly what that means. I'm hoping that Kali and the cards can help clarify that. Just that there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of energies, a lot of endings, which opens for new beginnings. So let's feel into the energy and see, you know, what it has to tell us. What is it? Have you been feeling like there was something that you need to really let go of, or something that just released, whether it's old wounding or old relationships or just old jobs, places, whatever it may be. Let's see what we have here. Oh, okay. I don't know if I've had this one out before. Yeah, as I said, Kali is not for the faint of heart. So let's see. This is called Dhumavati. Certain endings are unavoidable. Yes, so I am tapped in here with Kali. Thank you. They are necessary precursors to radical reinvention. Any disappointment, defeat, or loss, and the negative repercussions of such experiences will not limit your future happiness, but are opening up yet an unrecognized pathway of fulfillment. Wow, that's pretty profound. Your trust must be unconditional at this time, and later you shall see that everything is worked out for the absolute best. Okay, wow, that's pretty big. And this one, another interesting, this one looks like it has inspiration, like each one of the hands here looks like a snake. Very interesting. This is called Dakshina Kali. She appears fierce, and yet she is benign. Her oracle brings the message that a situation which may frighten or intimidate you is well within your capacity to handle, no matter how dramatic or intense a situation may appear to be at this time. It shall eventually be little more than a passing memory and not have any negative bearing upon your future. Okay, so how are you guys doing? Is there something going on in your world? I am really feeling some sort of karmic thing that for some reason I'm feeling like something is happening in our world that is creating, I don't know why I feel the need to fix all these crystals so they're the exact space apart, but that's a little OCD in me, I suppose. But I do feel that, and maybe it's, you know, I say all things happen for a reason. Maybe I'm feeling the need to balance something, right? Balance something in the stage, balance something in the space with which I'm working in that creates balance in the message. You know, I was very drawn to this kind of green and light blue or turquoise energy. This is apophyllite, which since I got it has been coming out in most of my readings. I'm really, really excited about the energy that that's bringing in. And this is another one that I picked up at an event not that long ago. So yeah, so I'm feeling like a lot is going on. Let's go to the Native American and see what we have, the energy coming out from the Native American cards. What do we most need to know at this time? It's a very small deck. And yeah, let's see. Okay, I'm hearing to cut the deck because this deck is a little sticky. Okay. Yeah. Kokopelli, of course it is. Now, I did see this when I was putting the deck together. Fertility, our first teacher is our own hearts. It is a quote, I guess, or a belief from the Cheyenne people. And a lot of people know Kokopelli for this beautiful, you know, wisdom dancer, creating joy and fun, and apparently fertility. And what that says is as we see these cards here telling us that there are certain endings and all of this that's going on is unavoidable, that there could be things that kind of feel like they're difficult, things that are hard to handle, either the direction we're going in or what we have to leave. But the time is really meant for that. The ground is fertile for this experience that we're having, the change that is coming. Everything that we are experiencing is not a happenstance, or everything is meant to be. Whatever you're experiencing in your world is here for purpose. So let's see, hopefully some clarification as well from the Deviant Moon. We have the Page of Swords. So this image is quite interesting. So pages is typically a relatively new energy. It's when you've gone through the foundation of some sort of big change and now you're stepping forward into a greater version of yourself on some level. And this page, you know, shows that he has some level of either value of himself through experience, and that he has, you know, some new toys, right, to look forward and see what it is that he needs to see. Now, the Swords energy is around, you know, what we're hearing. What are we hearing? What are we seeing in the words? What is the truth, right? He's moving forward and he has his sword up. So he's very aware right now of the comings and goings of information about what he's putting out and what he's receiving. And he's doing it with a laser-like focus, right? He's making sure that whatever, like, he doesn't want any missteps in his step forward. So what do you have going on? I think it's going to be interesting to see what information is coming out, because I did kind of hear that as I was tapping in, that there was a lot to come out. Now this card I think has come out almost every day, if not every day. And this is, the way I was reading this, is like good and evil, and finally being able to see the game for what it is. This is also, you know, in the Six of Cups, traditionally what you see is, you see like something from the past, somebody, a love, maybe an old flame, you know, kind of giving you flowers or giving you a gift of some sort. And I want to think that maybe that is it. Something that we thought was something from the past and now it's being resolved, right? The endings are unavoidable. And then we're going to see the ridiculousness of all these things that were going on in our world, and we gave them more power than they deserved. This is the people, this is the masses looking up at what was, and you know, everybody's happy because they finally get it. It's like, you know, you finally get the joke, like, what is going on here? Cups are around our intuitive awareness, our feelings, what it is that we feel about something. This is a relatively happy card, right? You know, you could also look at it like, you know, you're going to an event of some sort and you're sharing with others and becoming, you know, a group, and you're all like-minded and you're enjoying the, you know, either the revelation of something that you didn't have an awareness of and now you do, or you see the ridiculousness of something that had control over you and now you can just let it go, or that you see the stage that people have been playing and you now, you know, you now recognize, you know, who are the characters in this play. So, wow. Okay, so this was also a card that came out earlier this week. And this card is, it's the Eight of Swords. And again, we're staying in, you know, the swords energy. And I feel like, so the way I was interpreting this earlier in the week was that, you know, there's all these things, all these worries, all these thoughts, all this stuff coming into us all the time. And it's kind of, you know, clouding our head a little bit, or it's keeping our head and our thoughts outside. And so we're confused and we're not sleeping and our body's restless. And it's because all of this stuff is coming in and we don't know what's real anymore. And because we have this Page of Swords with this new awareness, literally, he's got like a laser focus on something new. And in between these worrying about everything and seeing things from the past, or seeing something in a new way, or feeling it or sensing it, right? This is what I'm getting from this Six of Cups energy, that we're revisiting something from the past that we are going to be able to see in a new way. And this card over here, this Dakshina, says, her oracle brings the message that a situation may frighten or intimidate you as well within your capacity to handle. And this is when you feel like, you know, your head is kind of taken over and you sometimes don't feel like you can handle it. And that's why you're up all night thinking about it, because you don't know how to handle it. So if that's the case and you've been feeling exhausted, or you've been feeling the energies are too much for you, know that no matter how dramatic or intense a situation may appear to be, it shall eventually be little more than a passing memory, something from your childhood that you thought was bigger than. If you've ever gone back somewhere and seen like an amusement park or something, and you were there as a child, and obviously when you were a child everything looks so great and so amazing, and then you go back later and you went, wow, I really loved this as a kid, but you know, it was completely different than what you remember it. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here, is that don't let yourself get carried away into this. It's very easy to do. So bring your attention, your awareness back into the space and take control and see it with some new eyes. So it shall be little more than a passing memory and not have any negative bearing on your future. And the last card that we have here is, it's funny because this is the 6 and the reversal of that is the 4 when you're looking at it numerically. And this is the Emperor. And this is a very interesting Emperor, right? He seems kind of pissy. He actually looks like a drag queen to me, you know, who has a really big attitude. And most of the time, to me, like the Emperor, like he's squashing, or he has his foot on this, what it feels like is like a Taurus bull, right? Which is, I think, what the full moon was. He's like squashing and he's got control over all that energy. And this, normally an Emperor doesn't feel quite so controlling, but this particular one does. It feels very, you know, full of himself almost, right? And he's got all this rich fabric and sits on a throne and just seems to keep everything in control. And a lot of times when you see this card, you see it, you know, like they have the key, right? But this is a very masculine energy, obviously, with the Emperor. And the counterpart to the Emperor is the Empress, which has this beautiful, loving, abundant nature. And the Emperor recognizes that power can keep that abundance around you on some level. But the Emperor also brings about knowledge and wisdom. And I like that I put it, or it feels right here under this. And it felt like there was a new awareness here of something from the past. And so that's what I'm also feeling here, is that there is, you know, some things that have been in control in the past, and we have like a new awareness or education or something that is going to change the dynamics of like how we look at things. Either you're going to learn something new, or there'll be a power shift of some sort as we move forward. Let's see if there's any more cards as I wrap up today's reading as we go into the weekend. Okay. Another 8 here, and this is the 8 of Pentacles, and this is about the work you're putting in. So yeah, so this feels like perhaps you're going to look at the work that you're putting into things in a new way, right? Not only are you going to kind of get out of your head and stop, you know, being overwhelmed by all the thoughts and the things that are coming in, but you're also going to stop looking at the way you work in the same way, right? This feels like kind of like a machine almost, right? Constantly working to create something. And if you felt like you've been in that mode, I feel like, you know, this is a change in the energy. And so maybe what I'll ask here is, what is this something new that we're going to see with this Page of Swords energy? Oh, wow. Okay, so we actually have 3 cards coming here, and the card that really flipped out is this is the Death card. It's card number 13, and the Fool. Wow. So we literally have death and rebirth here, right? So what we don't see, which is why this card is underneath here, is that there is an ending, and that's exactly what it was saying. Certain endings are unavoidable, and they're necessary precursors to radical reinvention. And that's what this looks like is happening here. Is like the power struggle is ending. It's the shifts. It's over. And it's time for, you know, like he's got control over this little guy here. And he's feeling pretty full of himself. And I think everybody is like reevaluating what they're doing here. And what I asked was, what is this page now? What is the new awareness? Is that all of this is ending. All of this, you know, pompous male need to control and have all the systems and everything and keeping everybody working really hard like machines. It's time to end. And then we have the Fool, because I think this is where we're going. It's all anew. This is saying that you must trust and be, so you must have unconditional trust at this time, and later you shall see that everything worked out for the absolute best. And then we have this feminine energy coming into play here, which would through the Queen of Wands. Then the Wands energy is about this really deep creative energy and passion and moving forward. It's like Mother Earth, and there's a time to celebrate, because the old is ending. We'll see things in a new way. We'll have this ability to shut some of these outside influences that are just, you know, keeping us trapped into these little loops here, right? Worrying about money and how we're going to get it and where it's going to come from and all that, and being, you know, held underneath the weight of this system that's felt very masculine dominated, maybe. The Emperor, this is a very big card. This is a very big influence. But the way they all come out, it's telling me that this influence is over. And this is the new beginning. Our first teacher is our own heart. Everything is fertile. Birthing happens within the divine feminine womb, right? And this is where this creativity comes to life with the Queen of Wands. So I think this is going to be a really big weekend. I think we're going to start seeing some things in a new way, and we might have some fear around that, right? We might have an ending to something with this Death card here that we may not have planned for, but that it's unavoidable, and it's not going to stop us from living our most beautiful life. As a matter of fact, I think it's something that is supposed to happen, and that we just need to trust in what's going on, and trust that some of the new energies that are coming forward are going to be more inclusive and more allowing and more creative. So thank you so much for being here at the Art of the Oracle. I hope you're enjoying the reading, and I look forward to catching you next week for another daily message. Until then, have an amazing day. Bye now.